You know I'm going to. Do you want the sock for the mic?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to put on a sweatshirt or? And welcome back to What Does Aaron Know? I'm Aaron Phillips, and this is my best friend, Zachariah Hall. And we are restarting the series with this important episode of our review for the new Batman movie and the new Halo series. Right, Zach?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yes, I want you to interact with me and the people. Okay, so we are going to.
Are you okay?
The show is chaotic. It's all get out.
Breakdown. You all right?
I have mental breakdowns every day.
Every day.
I just give myself a Mountain Dew and I'm happy.
We're off to a pretty rough start.
Yeah, you know why?
I must say.
You know why? Because we are still talking about the new Halo series that came out recently.
Yeah, okay, let's get into it. What were your thoughts on the first episode of the
Halo series?
long-awaited Halo? We've been waiting forever for some kind of Halo film.
Story, yeah. We were either going to have a Master Chief film or a show related to Halo but telling a different Spartan, all that. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's some things here and there that Paramount Plus said we are going to fix it. And that's what I like. Paramount is just like, okay, we know like some of the CGI and some things we need to fix on. We're going to fix it in later episodes.
Yeah.
So, props to Paramount for doing that.
Yeah. Well, so it's kind of like a modern day release of a video game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Where they're like, oh, we'll fix it later.
Except where you don't play the character, you watch the character.
That's true.
So we're getting cutscenes instead of playing the actual game.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll say, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I mean, so I'll step back a little bit. My expectations were pretty low because I don't know if I try not to look at too many reviews, especially like when we're going to talk about something.
Yeah.
I want my opinion to be my own. And I didn't like watch or read a lot of reviews, but from what I saw, it got some negative reactions for sure. And based on what I watched, this might sound like an insult, and it's not necessarily an insult, but it's kind of a like a good middle of the road sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like it's not trying to be more than that, and that's like okay.
Yeah.
Like for what it is, it's not a masterpiece or anything like that. But I thought it was.
It's not trying
to.
Good. It's not trying to push itself to be like we're the greatest. It's just like you get what you get.
Yeah.
And I can respect that.
Yeah.
It's not so much we're part of the Halo series, so we're gonna make the best of the best. It's like we're Halo trying to do our best here.
Yeah.
Like, and you and me have talked when like 4 and 5 came out. Certain aspects were good, but certain weren't.
Yeah, it was very like lore heavy, which it kind of seems like they're getting into that a little bit while tying some of the interesting stuff
humane action
about
stuff.
Like John and like his past and everything. No, it was interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. What did you think of well, before we get to the face reveal, which is like a really big deal.
Yes.
What did you think of like this is an obvious like deviation from the games, like the original trilogy?
I like it. Not only is it, a deviation from the original Halo series that we're used to.
Yeah.
But it's also bringing in an alternate timeline.
Yeah. So and it's a And they were like,
and they've stated it's
transparent about it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've stated like this is an alternate timeline or an alternate, or it's parallel, but there's certain things that are different. Like the fire team that Chief's with, in the game it's blue team, but in this it's silver. So you notice different things about that.
Yeah.
The outfits look completely different from silver and blue, and everything like that.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I really did not like, well, what I saw so far and really did not like, is that they're leaning to, like, the Keys, Miranda Keys and Captain Keys. In the original series, okay, they were never related to Halsey.
Yeah.
Halsey was just someone in the military. Keys and Miranda were in the military. Miranda's mom, I can't remember if she died from a Covenant attack or died naturally. I can't remember those.
I can't remember.
But
I don't think it says.
No.
They say in the
yeah, I think it's implied somewhere, but they don't say. Yeah. But in this series, they're saying that Miranda Keys, Commander Keys, and Dr. Halsey are a family that, you know, split because of differences or whatever. And to me, that just seems kind of a cop out. But I could be wrong because I'm so used to what the video game series is. But I mean,
yeah,
that's the only thing that I have issue. But there's probably another good reason.
Yeah.
For it.
I mean, I think my overall, just like, I feel like technically it just could have been done a lot better. Again, it has that just kind of...
It's still a baby form.
It just kind of has a middle of the road sci-fi
beginning,
kind of cheap feeling to it, which is disappointing. Did you know that Peter Jackson was actually gonna do a Halo movie?
Really?
At one point, and like he was talking to I can't remember who, like the person that's running 343 Industries now, the guy who was the lead on Infinite, and wrote the original trilogy, like Joseph Staten, I can't remember his name, we'll throw his name in there. But he was working with Peter Jackson on a script for like a long time, and ended up just getting dropped because of either, I don't think it was creative difference, I just don't think they could.
Probably budgeting issues.
I think it was just budgeting because Peter Jackson wanted to do it like right.
Lord of the Rings kind of
stuff. Like Lord of the Rings style Halo, which like I can't even imagine.
Could you imagine
how good that would have been?
They probably put a Gandalf the Grey reference in the Halo. Right. That would have been perfect.
Dude, Ian McKellen probably would have been in it.
Ian McKellen as Captain Keys.
That would have been so.
That would have been cool. Anyway.
But anyway, you can either reminisce on the past and be like, oh, it could have been. But for what it is,
it's a very good show.
Go ahead.
The elites, even though they're CGI, and also if you pay close attention, whenever they're not moving fast or whatever, their head is CGI, but their body is like
practical.
Practical, yeah.
Yeah.
The elites aren't bad CGI.
No, I like some of their sound effects when they first came through the door. You could hear the whoop 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 like the first, and I was like, ding! Yay! I was like, that's good. Which, you know, some of that stuff is like, you know.
Yeah, some people are like, cool. Why do they make that sound? Halo fans,
it's like, to be honest.
And another sound that I love is Master Chief's got his shields are depleted. He's hiding behind the counter.
I mean, they gotta put that stuff.
They have to. You know, it's like legend. It's like essential. Which
the people that made the show, that I can't remember their names. The people that wrote it.
Look it up.
They didn't play the games.
Really?
Yeah. So they're just like, we wanted just to take Halo and do our own thing with it. It's like, okay. So I think some of that kind of shows a little bit. But what did you think of the reveal
Okay.
of Master Chief's face, which is infamously just like
one of the big no's.
But it's one of the big no's because it's like that's what's special about Master Chief is that he's the man with no face, but you can still see through his humanity.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you think of?
So, two things. One, I actually like that they did it. Here's why. Because in the Halo game series, you play as Master Chief, okay? And as you're playing through the journey, you feel the emotions. Like, you're following the mystery, follow the characters and everything like that for Master Chief. So when there's a cutscene and, like, there's an intense moment where you're talking to a prophet, he's threatening you, or you're talking to or like the end of 4, Cortana's dying or whatever, you felt the emotion for that. So it was easy
the whole time.
Yeah, so it was easier to read his emotion. Now, for the series, you're not playing as Chief. You're a spectator. You're outside his mind, outside his train of thought and everything like that, outside of the conversations he has with Cortana in his helmet. So for him to reveal his face is for him to show the viewers, the gamers and everything, his humanity. Yeah.
No, I agree, and I think it was done in a good way.
Yeah.
Spoilers. We'll probably put spoilers up in the beginning of the video, but and another negative, actually my biggest negative, which I'll get to in a second. What was the girl's name?
Han?
No.
Kawi?
We're like not prepared at all.
No, we're not. We do this off the cuff every single time.
I swear.
The girl.
She's pointing the gun at Master Chief, and
it looks so small
which is just ridiculous. It actually looks really big in her hands because she's so small.
Yeah.
But Chief takes his helmet off to empathize with her, and he says, "You're gonna have to shoot me right here if you want to do something," which is kind of like, Chief's not suicidal. It was just kind of like a moment of humanity, like.
And you can trust me.
Look at my eyes, and you can trust me. So that was like, if they were gonna do it, that makes sense. I feel like that could have been a much more powerful moment.
True.
If it was like at the end of the season, or something where it's like you finally get to see Chief.
Yeah.
And it was like, I feel like it would have been more earned if it was further down the line. But it was still done well.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, towards the end of the season they could have done it better. But what I think they're doing is revealing Pablo
Schreider
early, so that way people can see that there's a face underneath the mask. And he's just a normal guy just trying to figure out what to do in life. So I think they weren't like, oh, we're just doing this because TV. They're just like, no, we're emphasizing a point here.
Plus, it's they're just further differentiating this version of Halo from the games.
Yeah. Which I can get behind.
Yeah. My biggest negative was probably the whoever the female character's name is, which I feel horrible. We just watched it and I can't remember. But therein lies the issue. I just thought the whole she's gonna lie about the truth of what happens. And I get it, but at the same time, it's I'm not rooting for her in that moment. It's that's horrible. They just saved you, and you're gonna lie about it, and then it's I'm supposed to feel bad when, again, I know it's a messy situation, and they shouldn't just kill her, but at the same time, it's
try to blackmail us.
It wasn't as effective at making me care as it could have been. I just felt that was a little messy.
Well, you got to remember, she just saw her entire village slaughtered.
I get it.
So
she kind of wants to die.
Yeah.
And Chief also not being willing to kill her makes complete sense because he's starting to get flashbacks of his
past life,
and he's starting to question some things. And overall, I thought it was decent. I I don't know if I want to give like a score.
I'd give it right now a solid 6.5.
6, yeah.
6.5. 6 because, it's the series and everything like that. I would give it higher, but, just the issues that we talked about. So, the 6.5 is not horrible, but it's not not great. Yeah. It's like, okay, this is a series that I could not sink my teeth into, but enjoy one bite at a time.
Yeah, just enjoy it for what it is and stuff. Yeah, I'd probably give it around a 6. I don't like doing scores or anything like that. But if I had to give it a
1 to 10, probably a good 6.
Yeah.
But 2 of my favorite scenes though. The first one is the fight scene where we're introduced to Master Chief, the Silver Team, and everything like that. I was like, oh,
there's some pretty cool moments.
Oh, everyone's gonna we saw the elites attack the compound and everything like that, and you're just like, everyone's gonna die. Everyone's gonna
And they did.
Well, except for one.
Yeah.
But you're just like, oh, everyone's gonna die because
it was very brutal.
Yes.
I did not expect it to.
And I like that they actually took the concept that the elites are brutal warriors into the show.
My favorite moment of action out of the entire episode was when that truck was coming around.
Oh yeah.
And you see how powerful the elites are. Like the elite just charges into it like a bull, and it just deflects it, and it
flips it over.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was for sure my favorite moment of action.
And then you see Chief pick up the turn from the flipped over truck and just lay waste to 3.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, that was it.
Exactly.
And my other favorite scene is when they're trying to knock them unconscious and everything. And everybody's like, well, Chief's unconscious. Wrong. Grabs a hand, uses one hand, goes over to the air controls and just fixes it, and he's just like, well, crap. All right, let's get this show on the road.
Well, hopefully he's, because in the games, he can breathe out in space with his suit. So.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember they were linked to his suit in the control tower by AI.
Oh, that's true.
So.
That's a good point.
So, the device he touched, when it went off, okay, it effectively wiped out the AI control for his suit.
And that made it where it was impossible for him to breathe. That makes sense.
Well, no,
40%, not.
No. I'm saying after they got touched down on the ground and everything like that, the big energy, massive wipe that wiped out their
Oh, sorry.
comms.
Sorry, I was still on that.
Oh no, but wiped out their comms and everything, but restarted the Pelican. It also restarted the system in his suit, so now they can't control his AI.
Ah, okay.
That's my
some
theory.
Interesting things going on with Cortana, which it's established in the games that the AIs were built because Spartans were kind of antisocial.
Yeah.
There's some of those vibes in the Halo 4 opening that explains that a little bit. So that actually is interesting. I'm interested to see how they incorporate Cortana, and hopefully it's not too much of a deviation from the games, because that's an aspect that works just so well, and I really hope that they can just be faithful to
the series
and
keep it
that aspect. If there's one thing, just do that. Ideally, if I'm being honest, I wish that this show just kicked right off, with the Pillar of Autumn, and just got right into the original Halo trilogy. How freaking good
that would be amazing.
It be if they just got right into the war and right into everything? And they might be building towards that. Maybe season 2 we'll get into the Pillar of Autumn and
well, we gotta get through season 1 first.
And actually having Halo, but we'll see.
But I do think that they did do a solid opening
Yeah.
for this show. They're okay, we're at a peaceful place. They're talking about how the UNSC, they're talking about all this. And then the elites come in and we're just like, wow. And what, we were only like 20 minutes in?
Well, no, I mean, like, it was 20 minutes, like, that battle was, like, the opening, and it was, like, 20 minutes. That is one thing I will give the show, is that it felt very short. I mean, I didn't feel the length. It was an hour, and it felt like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's, like, a really high praise, honestly.
Yeah, if a show can make you feel like you just watched an hour in under 30 or 20 minutes, it's a very good show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's doing something right, but... Any more thoughts on Halo?
Hopefully we get to see more armor variations.
Yeah. Like from Chiefs specifically, or Spartans?
Any Spartans, because the armor they wear, Chiefs is plain, but the armor that the other Spartans wear is modified. So hopefully we'll see other modified Spartan armors.
Sweet.
And now that we're done with Halo, ooh, alright. I was like, bam!
Alright,
All
what
right.
did you think of the Batman? Is there any other way you want to talk about this other than, like, a review? Do you want to get into anything before?
Okay. I don't
Batman.
want to review this. I don't want to discuss this. What I want to do is take this piece by piece.
Piece by piece? Like,
No.
break the whole film down?
No, when you nuts will be here for 30 hours breaking down the entire
It's
film.
true, it's a very dense movie.
But what I'm saying is we take apart piece by piece it wholly, like we take the whole idea, but we also take apart just how we felt the Batman.
How it made us feel.
How it made us feel. Right. So, like for instance, the scene where we're first introduced to Riddler. Okay?
Yeah.
That was scary as all get out.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Yeah.
Because, I've told you this. When we're first introduced to Riddler, the mayor is watching TV, he's doing his normal stuff, and if you don't look carefully, you'll miss him until it does a close-up, but you see the Riddler just standing there behind him, perfectly still.
Yeah,
It was real creepy.
It's pretty,
dark.
Paul Dano, he goes between a very, very calm character, too sporadic, but I think he's most frightening in the film when he's perfectly composed and still. I think that's when the Riddler is at his scariest. But, yeah, no, dude, that was a good opening. But, you know who had an even better opening?
Batman.
Than the Riddler. The opening of this film
Oh, Lord.
is
It's hard to beat now.
the Riddler's opening was good, and that is the opening of the movie. But getting into Batman's opening with his journaling, his monologue, which is just incredible, with Greg Fraser's cinematography, the rain, like his hat, his hood, like going to the train station, like people are committing crimes every which way, and he's just talking about, like, I can't be everywhere at once, but, like, they believe I'm in the shadows.
Yeah.
And, like, they're all turning towards the shadows as the music is just building.
And it's beautiful music.
And, dude, I was just like, this is it. Like, they finally got Batman
right
on live action. Right, I love Nolan's films. They are perfect to me. I love them. But when it comes to the noir comic book, like, year one style of Batman, like, they got it. And if I may continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Batman, those thugs, they're about to beat up that guy, and there's that impressionable young man who's with them, which some have speculated to be Robin.
Ooh. Okay.
They're telling the young man to beat this guy up as the bat signal is in the sky, and they're kind of watching it, but and then you just hear Batman's footsteps coming out of the dark. And he just man,
it
just goosebumps. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I was just blown away. When it comes to how I felt, that was probably my favorite part of the film, was the opening and the very end, where something else really beautiful happens. But
we'll get into that later.
Anyway,
Matt Reeves.
you go on.
I don't think he had any clue when he was like first like approached, like, we want you to make Batman. He's like, oh Lord. He's like,
Yeah.
I have no clue. And then I think he actually probably picked this up, Batman Year One.
He did, actually.
And he's just like, I'm going to make Batman based off of Frank Miller's art style and work. And the thing is,
David Mazzucchelli, that's like the artist who did the art.
well, story and artwork.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I think that Matt Reeves did so much honor to these guys by doing this in this style, this format, and everything like that.
He cited Batman Year One, The Long Halloween, and Batman Ego, which I actually have not read.
I have not read that either. I'm going to look into that.
What I know about Batman Ego, which this movie is about, is that Batman's constantly having inner monologues with himself, like throughout the whole book, and he's questioning his motives, questioning why he's doing what he's doing, and that's exactly what Batman's doing in this movie. Like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I doing what I am doing? And but yeah. Anyway, you're just.
But he definitely wrote a love letter to the fans, and it paid off perfect. Actually, let's do this. Okay, so who would you say would be close to Robert Pattinson's Batman? Yeah.
Okay, so.
Just off the top of your head, who do you think?
I think Christian Bale is my favorite Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think Christian Bale just absolutely nails that, and he also nails like that balance with Batman perfectly. I don't think his Batman is the best.
Okay.
Either visually or just his voice or his detective skills.
Needs some work.
Just Batman is not the best, but his Bruce Wayne overall character is great. Ben Affleck is good. I like his arc from Batman v Superman.
Right, to Justice League.
Basically not Batman because he's just a murdering psychopath. Into Justice League where he's more Batman.
Yeah.
Really good balance. But Robert Pattinson as Batman is the best Batman we've ever had. And I've seen the film twice. And that might sound a little like, okay. But like, when you really look at it, like visually, his voice, the detective work, the action, the gadgets, his drive, and his arc by the end, it's just like, I don't know, just the best live action Batman I think we've had. You can debate that his Bruce Wayne isn't.
I actually liked his Bruce Wayne.
But I liked his Bruce Wayne too because they cut out, at least for right now, they cut out that billionaire playboy persona because right now that's not realistic.
No.
For who Bruce is. He is Batman and he's just broken and he doesn't care about anything
politically or...
He doesn't care. And at the end of this movie, I think actually it would have been really cool if Bruce would have gone down to like just with the people and like pledged like, I'm gonna help with this, like the flooding,
or gone to the company and done that as well.
I can see that being a big thing that happens in the second one. Like Bruce is gonna start becoming more active personally.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk more about, like the arc of Batman in this movie, but that's my opinion on.
So okay, let's just say for Batman, Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson. Okay.
Christian Bale. I would say Pattinson and Bale are the best.
Okay. We're gonna compare those two. Okay, with Jim Carrey's Riddler and
Paul Dano.
And Paul what?
Dano.
Paul Dano's Riddler.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I mean. So, Jim Carrey, his Riddler is more zany.
Insane, over the top.
Insane, over the top, but yet has a flair for the riddle dramatics.
Yeah.
I would say. Paul Dano has more, because he slightly based his Riddler on the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
So he has more methodical ciphering of
just twisted
methodology that I think Jim Carrey just completely overshadowed for the Riddler. Now, I will say I like Jim Carrey's like zany take on the Riddler.
Yeah, that's pretty classic Riddler stuff.
Yeah, that's like the animated series, the Justice League series, the old comic books and everything like that.
Arkham series, all that.
Actually, no. I'm getting there. Trust me. I'm getting there.
Okay.
It's more like, you know, the old comics, cartoons, movies, and everything like that. Paul Dano actually has more of the Arkham series.
I would agree. Yeah.
Paul
a little bit
Dano.
darker.
Yeah. There was a Batman animated movie called Batman Hush. And
It's great.
Yes. And it's based on the Hush comics. But instead of Tommy Oliver being the guy behind the managers and everything, it's the Riddler.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Because...
didn't know that.
Yes. In the comics, it's, you know, like they do in the Arkham game.
Yeah.
But, so in the movie, it's the Riddler, okay? And the Riddler with the Hush persona and everything is actually more deadlier than him as the Riddler. Because, you know, he's been killing people left and right. He has Catwoman hung over like a grinder for metal and stuff like that. So he's actually more insane.
Yeah.
Almost like Paul Dano's.
Yeah.
So for me, Jim Carrey is good for the zaniness.
Yeah.
But Paul Dano is definitely the Riddler that I like.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think the scariest thing about his Riddler is, like, you know, obviously he's a serial killer, and the movie gets into some straight up horror, almost Saw inspired
stuff
moments. But I think the scariest thing about him is the scenes with like the
calm demeanor.
The calm demeanor, but also the like the dark web.
Yes.
And kind of the like twisted community he finds, like through social media, and just the language that's used that's like super familiar with what we hear
nowadays and everything
on social media is just kind of like sickening, but like very well done, and the point was received well, I thought. And I think the movie's really really smart in the way that if I can just kind of like explain like the overarching themes.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's not that people can't pick it up, but I just thought it was really smart that the movie starts with Batman, you know, like he literally says, "I am vengeance," and he's literally just beating people, like, because he can't make any sense of his life in any other way. But he is the one that inspired the Riddler.
Yes.
The Riddler thinks that they're on the same side.
When they're not.
And when Batman goes to see him in Arkham, he's like, "We did this together. Like, you were my accomplice. You inspired me." And Batman's like,
"You're insane."
No, like, no, that's not, like, you're insane. That's not who I am. And he's like, "What are you talking about? Like, we're like brothers." And at the end of the film, the inspired killers that are gonna kill everybody in the town hall meeting, or the campaign rally after the floodgates have broken open, after Batman beats that guy, and he says, "I'm vengeance," which is citing that first line Batman realizes, like, I need to be more than vengeance. I need to be Batman. I think I made the joke with my wife, who I went and saw the movie with, when he falls in the water, it's a baptism. He goes down and he comes back up as Batman. Like, he wasn't Batman before that moment, and he comes up and he lights that flare and he helps people out, and like, that's the birth of Batman in that moment. And I think that's like it's like so good. I think, and the movie, again, I don't have to keep talking, but I
love it when you talk, because it's more screen time than you will allow me to ever let you have. So talk away, my friend.
Okay, I shall. Because I have a lot to say about this movie, and I think the movie has a lot to say, and it's gotten some controversy for that white privilege line.
Oh my gosh.
But I do want to talk about that. The movie talks about, like, social stuff, corruption, not to the point that it's like, just political garbage or anything like that. I think it's genuine to the point that it's, like, realistic. Mm-hmm. And also, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's realistic. It's believable that Catwoman, who's a young black woman, would say something like that.
Oh, definitely.
And then, but the ironic thing, the funny thing, is that Batman himself is one of those white privileged pieces of crap that she's talking about, which is proving her point wrong. Like, I just think it's funny that, like, the thing that's, like, garnering some criticism is, like, if you really think about it, it's like Batman standing right there, and he's proving her wrong by even being there to help.
But she doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, so...
Yeah, so, again, I think the movie has some good subtext, and whether that's what the filmmakers intended, I don't know. But,
that's Matt Reeves.
But I just wanted to talk about that. I think the movie had a lot of good stuff going on. I do want to talk about some of my favorite sequences in a bit, but...
There was this scene where, you were talking about it earlier, where Batman and Riddler have that conversation.
Yeah.
And he gets up to the glass and he's like, Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm. And Batman's like, oh, frick.
Yeah, you thought...
For a second. The first viewing, I was just so overwhelmed with the amount of information.
Yeah, and you're just like, he knows who Batman is. I'm like, no, he doesn't. You're just like,
no,
Aaron, he knows who he... I'm like, listen to the conversation.
No, that was very wrong. That was very wrong. Apparently, I don't listen. Just missed that thing in Halo. But no.
Why do you think I'm the therapist of the group? Because I listen.
It's good, man.
I listen.
Listen.
I listen. I'm getting more Mountain Dew. So, what, in your opinion, was one aspect of the movie that could definitively say you were most happy to see?
The thing I was happiest to see was that we finally got Gotham for what it is.
Ooh.
Like, everything, like, from Burton, which is just way over the top, to Schumacher, which, again, way over the top, to Nolan, which is so scaled back that it's just New York or Chicago. This is just Gotham, and it's like Gotham in the vein of, like, Blade Runner, or 1970s films. Like, they got it right, the tone. That noir detective Batman that feels like Year One, or, like, the best Batman comic books. Like, they really got it for the first time, I feel like. And also, another really cool thing about Batman's progression throughout the story, he goes to the Penguin Lounge, not the Penguin Lounge, the Iceberg Lounge 3 times. First time, he goes up to the door, he knocks on it, they open the door, Batman's there, and they're like, bro, like, what are you doing? And, like, he just charges his way through, and, it's a great scene. The second time he goes as Bruce Wayne, they let him in, they're like, holy crap, it's Bruce Wayne. The third time, he just slips in. Do you like kind of see the evolution? Like he's becoming more and more like Batman, even through those 3 interactions of him coming in. Like he's like by the third time, like he's finally like a shadow in the night that we know as Batman. I just thought that was cool.
That
like illustration throughout the movie.
I do agree with you on that, because the first time he's not Batman, he is Vengeance.
Yeah, like I think he's Vengeance before that moment where he's in the water.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the third time when he sneaks in and is, you know, suddenly taking everyone out, I was just like, I'm scared now.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
What was your like definitive thing that you were happy to see with this movie?
For me, it was definitely the detective work.
Yeah.
Not so much on Bruce's end, but on Alfred's. Because if you look at all the past Alfreds, Michael Caine and Jeremy Ironside did some detective work. You know, they would be like, oh, we know this because of our history in the military and stuff like that. And then all the other past Alfreds were like, is there anything else to say? But Andy Serkis brought more of an intelligent mind
to the character.
Because you see him with the first cipher, he's figuring it out, and he's just like, now wait, if you do this and then do this,
and then Bruce completes it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to see, and I'm excited to see more of them together.
And it was, you know, kind of like a father and son kind of working on it.
Yeah.
Which just made me even more happier, because it's, you know, because Bruce sees Alfred in society's eyes as a butler, but behind the doors and everything,
as a father.
He's a dad.
And another cool thing was Alfred said, I taught you how to fight in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like did this Batman, which I honestly love that the movie's just like, we don't need to know how he made the suit. We don't need to know how he made the car. It's like he's Batman. We know he just figures stuff out and he does it and he's awesome. Like, we don't need to know any of that. You know, but it's like, did Alfred just teach Bruce how to fight? In this, like, did Alfred just teach Batman everything?
So there's two answers to this. One is he taught him how to, you know, fight, like, you know,
like box
and stuff, and also maybe whatever they teach British Special Forces,
like MI6 stuff.
But for Bruce to actually like do kung fu and everything like that, he probably had to go to like a Tibetan monastery or whatever.
So you think probably both are accurate? That he probably got training from both sides.
Yeah, both are accurate, and both are, you know, like, he got trained by monks. No, he got trained by Alfred. It's either or. It can be both.
I just thought that was cool that was like thrown in there, that it's like, oh, Batman has some like MI6 like training from Alfred. I just thought that was kind of cool a little bit.
One thing I do like is when Alfred gets injured and he's rushed to the hospital, and Bruce figures out the truth about that his dad asked Carmine Falcone to, you know, scare the guy, not to kill him, but Carmine, being Carmine, didn't listen and killed the guy. I like how, even injured, Alfred still has not only the fatherly knowledge to be like, that's not what happened, you know, like to teach him, but also the emotion enough to express that he is sorry to lie to Bruce for all these years, but he did it in order to protect him. So that Andy Serkis definitely solidified his take on Alfred in this movie, and I love it every minute.
Yeah, no, I think that was just incredible casting, and that's again just sorry, my phone fell out of my pocket.
You're fine.
I think this movie has a lot of just great character moments and levels. And another thing I really liked was that Bruce has an idea of the world and how it works, and when he finds out about his parents, his whole world just falls apart. Like, all of his ideas as to why he's freaking going out, dressing up as a bat, and beating the crap out of people falls apart, but it gets built up even stronger, like, in a healthy way when Alfred tells him, like, no, your father was a good man. Like, things are complicated, but your father was a good man.
It's like, your dad was a good man. Mm-hmm. The only thing that he did bad was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it wasn't really, he was like going to Carmine on his hands and knees, begging him. Carmine actually owed him a favor for saving his life. Mm-hmm. So he's like, you know what? I got this favor from Carmine. Mm-hmm. I'll tell him to scare the guy, not to kill him. Carmine's like, nah, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
And then it's just like...
And that's on his conscience, and then he feels like he needs to go either turn himself in, and Carmine has him killed.
Yeah. Which, we all know, they went to see a movie, went down Crime Alley and stuff like that. I think that in that universe, Thomas was actually doing that before he turned himself in, so that way Martha and Bruce had a good day before he turned himself in.
That's deep.
But then Carmine ordered the hit.
Jeez.
On Thomas.
No, and I think it's good either way. Like the senseless brutality of some random dude killing Thomas and Martha, or like the intentional like evil behind things. Sometimes I think it's good both ways. But I liked what they did. John Turturro as Carmine was like freaking. He was so good.
He was so perfect.
Really, the whole cast.
Even Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Colin Farrell
perfect.
Was the best Penguin from cartoons, comics, games. He's the best Penguin we've ever got. Like, he's just this perfect mobster guy that comes right out of a Martin Scorsese movie.
Now, Danny DeVito is a good one.
True, but Colin Farrell.
He's
the best Penguin.
Danny DeVito for a guy rising from the sewers to
eat people's noses off.
Yeah. And Colin Farrell is like, I'm already set in this mob world. I'm a mobster.
Yeah. No, just like how him and Batman meet. He's like, how you doing? It's like, you're everything that they say you are. It's like just so good.
It's just like Colin Farrell, the most Irish person in the world, is the most Italian in this scene.
And he's just straight Italian.
He's straight Italian. There's no difference.
Zoe Kravitz.
Perfect.
Great as Catwoman.
Perfect as Now here's the thing.
Really good.
Here's the thing. I like her Catwoman more because three things.
Michelle Pfeiffer, or just in general.
In general.
Okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is phenomenal for the time.
Yeah.
Zoe is phenomenal for our time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The three reasons I like Zoe is she plays the character very well. Mm-hmm. She doesn't use the characters, yes, she's a woman, but she doesn't use that to be like overly sexualized or something like that.
Yeah. I thought everything was tasteful.
Yes, she definitely is more concerned about people. We saw her; she was concerned about her friend and everything like that, and she was also one of the few characters that, as the movie progressed, you're just like, "Where's Selena?" You're like one of the
concerned if she's like all right,
alive or washed away. Like Jim, Selena, Bruce, and Alfred were four of the characters that, for the good side, that you got invested in, and when everything hits the fan, you're just like, where are they? Where are they?
I know. Well, one thing I think they nailed the just the relationships between everybody in this movie better than they have before. Say for Christian Bale and Alfred. they really just got everybody right. Man, Jeffrey Wright as Gordon.
Perfect.
Just the, like, his smooth voice, his mustache, just, like, every line.
What does it mean? Just, like, him talking. I can listen to him read Lord of the Rings.
His voice is just, like, pure gold.
It is.
Yeah.
It's James Earl Jones gold.
It's that good. Like, it genuinely is. I think, I love that scene when he's like, you couldn't have pulled your punch back there. And Batman's like, I did.
And he's like, ow. But,
punches Gordon in the face.
But, I love the relationship between Batman and Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
It's still on the rocks, but they're slowly learning to trust each other.
And there's history there.
Yeah.
I like that there's history with, like, things that are going on, especially between two characters we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
But one of my favorite scenes with the cops is when they finally get into Riddler's place. They're going through evidence, you know, and everybody's gone. Batman comes back, and that one cop is there. And the cop's like, I really shouldn't let you go in there. He just looks at him like...
I love how many moments that Batman just doesn't need to say anything, and there's so many in the movie where he just gives a look, and it says everything.
Yeah.
And that's so, like, peak Batman.
That is, like...
It's just so good.
That reminded me of the Batman animated series, the Batwoman movie. One guy's, like, opens the door, see Batman, Batman's just like... And the guy's like, nope!
So good. He's like, I just work here. I don't want to be involved.
And then he's passing another dude in the hallway, and he's just like, anything interesting? And he's like, nope, nothing interesting. Nope, keep walking.
Walks away.
Just keep walking.
And another thing that reminded me of the animated series is, okay, I'm gonna incorporate this. I go on a tangent. My mind starts going a billion ways. My favorite 3 sequences back to back in this movie that's just nonstop, like A+ perfect, is the start of the funeral scene when Bruce is looking at
the
kid who lost his dad, which, again, there's so many good moments in this movie like that. He looks at the kid, the car comes through, you know, there's that whole interaction where Batman's solving riddles, the bomb's around the dude's neck, blows up, Batman's in the GCPD, and this is what I was talking about. The animated series reference was like, that cop's like, you're really gonna throw your career away from this guy, Jim? Like, his voice is just, like, so over the top.
You're just like, oh god.
I was like, I love this. Like, I love how, like, cheesy this is, but, like, how classic it is. Like, I loved that dude. I was like, I want more of him in the following movies.
I think that is what is going to be...
Is that...
former Commissioner Stone.
Okay, because Loeb died.
Not in this series. No, he did.
Yeah, Loeb died.
Yeah, Loeb was victim number 2, yeah.
Yeah. But that, and then right after that, there's the Batmobile sequence.
Yes!
Which is just, I'm going to say right now, no Batmobile touches. Not even close. Like,
the Tumbler is second.
The Tumbler is dope, but you cannot beat a 1969 Dodge Charger with the freaking jet engine in the back. When it starts up, armor plated, literally just...
I was like, I think I just peed a little.
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying. It's
like,
horrifying.
And then it cutting to Colin Farrell's face where he's literally like...
You're just
looks
like
he's about to, like, take a poop. Like, because he's so scared.
You're just like, I don't wanna be here anymore.
Followed by just a classic car chase. With rain and traffic.
A normal car versus Hell's Ride.
And then literally the Batmobile jumping through fire.
And that wasn't CGI, that was a practical effect.
No, I know. And Batman just walking like Clint Eastwood through the flames and rain to the most incredible score we've ever gotten.
And just slowly leans down.
I just can't explain.
Hi, Penguin.
I can't explain how happy this movie is.
It was so good. It made me feel like a child again.
Like, genuinely, like... Yeah.
It got you
It got
right
me
here.
right in the heart. I, like, just those 3 sequences back to back, which is, like, 30 to 40 minutes of film, is just, like, non-stop perfect. Like, I wouldn't say it's a perfect film. I have a few nitpicks with it, but those 40 minutes, literally, like, just flawless Batman.
We're not going to talk about the nitpicks because we might run out of
filmmaking ourselves.
Yes.
Which, not to say that they're major. I honestly, I kind of talked about them with, like, some of the political stuff, maybe.
Right. Now, I'm going to touch a brief on this. Because I feel if we don't, then we're just going to, talk non-stop about the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie is about political corruption and everything like that.
Yeah.
And we're introduced to the Riddler, Joker, and the Penguin.
Yeah.
The next film, okay,
yeah.
I sent you a photo of this. I'll have to find his name, but a guy posted his own fan-made picture of the next Batman movie with the Court of Owls.
Yeah, fan-made. Could be.
Fan-made,
It
okay?
could be.
The poster is fan-made.
Both.
Just emphasizing that right now.
Yeah, no, there's so many interesting places they could take it.
Yes.
But I do want to talk about and this is related to where they could take it. They cut out a 5-minute scene from the movie, which I really wish they would have kept in there.
But I think budgeting and...
I get why they took it out.
Yeah.
They released a 5-minute scene of Batman and the Joker
discussing the mental state of the Riddler.
And the murders, and I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
I thought it was very well executed.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the Joker does have a psychiatrist kind of take on villains and everything, and Batman. So to hear him actually help Batman on a case with this kind of mental character really, really solidified the actor's role as the Joker. Yes.
And like a different kind of Joker.
Yes. Not so much crazy, insane,
Which he is, but...
But it's not like, I have a plan for everything.
Yeah, it's...
Not that Heath Ledger not Heath Ledger Joker is terrible.
Rest in peace.
But what I'm saying is that while Heath Ledger's Joker was chaos incarnate, this Joker is more mentally intelligent, but still unstable.
Yeah, he's insane, but he's manipulative, and I love that him and Batman have a history. He said this 1-year anniversary, and he brought me paper. But just he's the way he gets in Batman's head, and he says like, "You think they deserved it, don't you?"
Yeah.
Like, and he's right. Like, and that was just like, man, they're onto something good.
Yeah.
With this Joker.
And I also like how until the very end, like they blurred his face and everything, but like slowly revealed that his face is burnt and ash. His hair's like half
mangled,
gone.
his fingers are like...
His like smile is actually from the burns and everything. It works so well.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because we all know that Joker took a bath in acid, okay? But yet he comes out, just white, no real physical damage or anything like that, except for the smile and white skin, right?
This is like what would actually happen.
Yeah. And I love Matt Reeves for doing that. He's just like, this is what happened to Joker after the bath in the real world.
Yeah. And it's pretty horrible.
Pretty horrible, but accurate as all get out.
Yeah.
So, praise to Matt Reeves for doing the characters right.
Yeah, when I saw the movie, they have a little bit of the Joker in the actual movie. with Riddler. And it was so vague. I was like, I don't know if I'm buying this. I didn't know if I liked it. But then when they showed the scene, I was like,
yep, he just solidified it.
They got it. And it's just like they're kind of running the risk of like too much Joker. Like we've had, the past few years, we've had Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger,
Jack Nicholson,
and now Barry Keoghan Barry Keoghan. That's the guy.
He played Drug in the Eternals movie from Marvel.
Which he's a great actor.
He is. Honest to God, he is.
He's worked with Nolan too, Christopher Nolan.
Wasn't he in
Dunkirk?
Dunkirk, yeah.
He was in Dunkirk.
Yeah, wasn't he the kid that was helping one of the boats?
And he hit his head.
Yeah, I thought he got like a bullet shot him or he hit his head or something.
No, his head just hit the back of the boat.
His head hit the back of the boat because the soldier was freaking out. And
it's really sad.
Yeah, it was sad, but even though he had a short time on the film, it was still
very effective.
Very effective. So kudos for them picking him.
Have you seen The Green Knight?
Not yet.
We talked a little bit about it.
We talked a little bit about
Barry Keoghan's in that movie.
Ooh.
And he's a thief. He's like this nasty freaking dude, and he's scary in that movie. Other people might not have had that reaction to him, but he just was very unsettling in The Green Knight. So that's another role that made me think like, yeah, he'd be really good as the Joker, actually. But anyway, dude, there's so many ways they could take it. I kind of hope that Joker's saved for the third movie. I hope the second one. I want a realistic Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
If I could have anything.
Daniel Craig.
Oh.
I was looking through the photos of the guy that I was talking about, and he made a Daniel Craig Mr. Freeze. It looked good.
Daniel Craig or I know Josh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know. Josh Brolin already played Thanos.
Yeah.
But if Josh Brolin could be a villain in a Batman movie,
Freeze,
I would be very happy about that. I feel like he'd be a great.
I want to see Matt Reeves' take on Poison Ivy and Bane.
Yeah.
Because the only time we've actually gotten a live action version was the Batman and Robin, and we all know that was terrible.
It's blasphemy.
Now, Uma Thurman did do the best that she could with what she had.
So bad.
But I kind of want to see, them retry it again.
Yeah.
But done right.
What is your top 3 favorite Batman movies?
The Batman.
Number 1?
There's only one Matt Reeves Batman out right now, isn't there? The Batman.
No, like, is that your number?
Oh, yeah, that's my number one. The Batman, the animated movie Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker.
Mm-hmm. That's number 2.
That's number 2.
Number 3.
And number 3. Ooh, number 3. Probably The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Okay. My top 3, not based on technical best movie, but like just Batman.
Yeah. That's why I did.
Number 1 is Batman Mask of the Phantasm, actually.
Ooh.
I think that is just... Man, the way that... I don't have to get too much into it, but the way that movie is like about how Bruce feels guilty for possibly not going in the direction of Batman, that he has a chance at like being happy.
Yeah.
And feeling like the guilt and pain. Like that's like so deep.
That is.
Like for an animated movie. So number 1 is the Batman Mask of the Phantasm. 2 is the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 is the...
If you say Batman or Robin, I will murder you.
No.
Okay.
The Dark Knight is a better movie, but for a Batman movie, Batman Begins. That's my number 3.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But, I was just going out of the ones that just bring me nostalgia and awesomeness.
The Dark Knight is so good.
It is.
It's technically, it's the best movie with Batman in it.
True.
For sure.
Anyway. Alright. So, I feel like we're good, Zach.
Yeah.
What do you feel
good.
like?
I feel a decent to light 6 on how I'm feeling.
Alright, cool.
No, I'm joking. I feel pretty good.
Okay. So, as the final of this video / podcast, we are going to chug the last of our drinks.
I do not have much left.
Bye! That's it.